Welcome back to MTN Live in the Mountains. So here on the couch with us, we have Amy Hudnall, and she is with Horse Helpers of the High Country. Amy, thank you so much for being with us today. So tell us a little bit about the Horse Helpers of the High Country and what y'all do.
We're horse rescue, and we do everything from helping with investigations to all the way to adoptions, and then following up and making sure adoptions work. So we're rehabbing them, we're doing all the the vets are helping us do all the vet care. We refeed them, we retrain if they need that, or train, and then we find adopters and we evaluate that. I testify in court if I need to as an expert witness, so there's a lot involved.
How many horses do you have?
Right now, we've got 19 in our care. Well, by the end of the day, we'll have 19, which is, we usually run at about 10, so we're way over the number of horses we like to have.
Wow.
Or have the money for, actually.
Yeah. You guys have been around for a while, too. Right?
We're working on 10 years now.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
It's a long time. It was started by Anita Gomez, who is head of animal control here, and so it's got a important history with Anita starting it.
So tell me about a process of maybe a horse that comes in and that you want to revamp them and make them well enough for adoption.
Well, usually we get starved horses. That's usually what we have. But starved horses aren't just starved. They often have ulcers. They've got all kinds of chronic intestinal problems. They often have lice. Their immune systems are destroyed. Their skin is usually messed up. So we have to deal with all of those parts. So we're looking at really good nutrition. And when you get a starved horse, you have to feed them. You start out feeding them like 2 or 3 bites 5 times a day until you finally get up to where they can eat 2 or 3 times a day. So it's this constant process. You can kill a horse by feeding it when it's a starved horse. So that takes months. It takes 6 months, 7 months with some horses, sometimes a year to get their weight back where it should be. They lose weight really fast, they put it on really slow.
Wow.
And in the meantime, we're doing all the skin stuff and dealing with ulcers and all that kind of stuff. They've probably never had any of their regular vaccines, so they get all of that. Their teeth usually are a mess, so the vet has to deal with their teeth. Their hooves are usually not taken care of. And oddly, one of the things I've learned is when the hooves aren't well taken care of, they become crippled, they'll walk funny, they can't move right, they'll ruin ligaments. So feet are really important. You know, you'd think it wasn't such a big deal, but it is.
Right.
So all of those things we're trying to help to fix. And at the same time, we're trying to change any behavioral problems. You know, they're often pushy, they don't have good ground manners, all those kinds of things we're trying to work on. In most instances, the horses stay with us for at least a year before they're adopted. It takes that long to resolve the health issues and the behavioral issues before they can be adopted. And some horses we sent home to his first new permanent home, paint on Sunday. We took him to Winston, and he was with us for 2.5 years before we found the right person. So the important thing to us is getting the right match. We want a horse to be in a lifelong home. We want him to die there, be there forever. And we want the rider and the horse to be able to click. So it took that long for him because he had special needs.
Wow.
And he's in a perfect home,
Great.
Absolutely perfect.
Where do you normally get your horses from?
Well, we started out just serving Johnson County, Watauga, Avery, and Ashe. Now we go as far as Caldwell. We've helped with cases in like near Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So we're looking all over the state and Tennessee. We work with law enforcement, we work with animal control. That used to be where we got most of our calls, but now we're getting more and more people who know about us who are calling us and asking us to go out and investigate. We only do that with law enforcement or animal control, but we also are getting more people that need to surrender a horse. They know they're not taking care of it right, or they're sick, for example, and we need to take it. We just took in 3 horses with a family. The guy was in a wheelchair, she was in a walker. They couldn't go out to a pasture and feed their horses. So we took 3 horses for them. So lots of situations.
Do you ever have people that have a horse that might want to get it back, but it's just in really bad health and they want to drop it back?
We don't normally do that. Although we do help people if we've helped people that can't afford to pay the vet bills when a horse needed help. We help people who have hit hard times. This fall we paid for somebody's hay for the winter because they were getting back on their feet. They just got a new job, but they had all these backlog of bills. So we fed their horses for the winter because they knew what they were doing and they wanted to take good care of their horses. So that's one of the things that makes me the happiest, you know, is when we can help a horse stay with the home that loves them. That's ideal.
I know. And with all these horses, I know you have to have a lot of people to come out and help. How many volunteers do you have?
Well, yeah, there's some days we have like 20 or 30 people crawling around, and it's just insane. But we have permanent, we probably have 20 to 40 permanent volunteers, and then we have lots of people who come and go. Community service, the probation program with community service, they send people out. We have wonderful people from that program. It's amazing. Wow. So we get volunteers from lots of places, and they're very, very helpful. We can't do it without them.
That's great. On average, how many horses do you normally keep there?
Normally we have between 12 and 14, so 20 is way over what we normally have.
Okay. And I was going to ask you, so you guys are nonprofit, right? So what do you have sponsors? Do you have people like, you know, just randomly give you money, or do you have?
Really good question. We've got a fundraiser coming up April 13th. That's a Saturday. We don't have the location yet, but it's a used tack auction, but it's actually a whole fun day. We have lots of things for kids. We'll have pony rides and contests about horses for kids. We have a Coggins clinic, so people can bring their horses to have them tested and get their vaccinations, and they get a break on it. We'll have information booths with Watauga Humane Society, Avery County Humane Society, so we'll have informational things. But the big thing is the tack auction. So you can bring your tack and we'll sell it for you and get a percentage of the sale, or you can donate your tack and get a tax write-off, and we'll sell it, and what we get comes to us. So that's one of our big fundraisers, and it's a big community thing because it draws horse people together.
Right. That's wonderful. And so tell us about the horses that you're going to pick up today.
I haven't had my hands on them yet. I've only seen them in the pasture, but they're standing in mud that's about up to their knees. So, I mean, they can hardly get their feet out because they're sucked in. But two of them they're starved. I was told they were old. Most people think old horses just are skinny. Old horses don't have to be skinny. If you take care of them, they can look just like, you know, they're a little saggy, like we all get, but they don't have to look bad. Right. These horses are, you rate body score from a 1 to a 10. 5 is perfect, and these are about a 1. And I didn't look at them. If they look like a 1 from the road and they've got a winter coat, they're seriously skinny. Wow. And then one of them I was told is blind, so I'm not even sure what we're dealing with that situation.
Okay. No. Wow. Are you excited to bring in these new horses? Are you a little nervous? Or?
I don't usually get excited.
Obviously, it's not. Yeah, I didn't know because you're having, bringing in the horses so you can help them.
It is fun. The biggest thing for me is watching horses blossom. Right. We've had horses be so brain dead because they were so starved that they walked into the gates. That they walked into the walls. They didn't know anything. All their functioning had stopped. And to watch that horse become a personality and an individual and interested is the most exciting. That's why I do it. It is so exciting. So that's the big thing, and that will be exciting. We're a little anxious because I think this is going to be stressful for the owner. It's not their intent to have these horses be like this. So I think we don't know what we're getting into.
Well, that's great. If somebody wants to help out with the Horse Helpers, how can they go about doing that? Where are you guys located?
Okay, well, we are located in Zionville. Okay. We don't have the address on our webpage because we have been threatened by people before when law enforcement takes animals. So you can find us if you really want to, but if you email us, it's horsehelpersnc@gmail.org. If you email us or if you call, we can give you directions. You can come out and visit. But donations, that's how we survive. We write some grants, but there's not much money for horses and grants. And so most of the money is local people who help us to keep going.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I got in contact with you. I went on the website, and there's this little part on there, and you can put your name and your comments, and if you want to get involved. So that would probably be the best.
Yes, that would be great.
That's great. I know. And is there anything else you'd like to say about the Horse Helpers?
No, just come out. We'd love to show it. We love to share Horse Helpers. We love for people to come see the horses. They're amazed. Rescue horses we think are going to be scruffy things, and we've got some right now that are show quality.
Right.
And we love to show off these horses. We're very proud of them, and so we would like for people to come visit.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Great. Thank you so much for
coming in.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
All right, we'll be back in a minute with more MTN Channel 18.